Hey friends, Asher with gentsscents. Hope you're doing really well. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this fragrance right here from Teo Cabanel. Ooh la la. So this one was sent to me by the house for review. They sent me a sample first months ago. I really liked it, and now they sent me this. And in this video I'm going to let you know why I like it. It's really interesting, very different. I'm also going to show you guys the presentation and just go over the whole thing. So let's jump into it. All right guys, first up, presentation time. This is the box, and it's gonna have this wrapped over the top of it, holding it all together, but I don't wanna put it back together and take it back apart, so hey, you're just gonna eat it like this. You got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size and concentration on this little slip, name of the fragrance at the top, little info on the back about the brand. Then on the bottom, you'll actually find your badge code, which is right there. OLL20112. And then the box looks like so. It's got this nice design to it. Open it up, nothing doing on the inside here, just a cutout for the bottle to sit into. And this is sort of like a styrofoam packaging with paper over top. Go back together. Quit messing with me. And then here you have the bottle. Obviously, Teo Cabanel going with a much different bottle style here than their earlier fragrances, which looked like this right here. I actually own a few like this, but I don't feel like getting up and grabbing them right now, so a picture will have to do. But this is how the new bottle style looks, much simpler, much cleaner. You got the name of the fragrance, name of the house, and the concentration right here on the front. Other than that, pretty simple. On the bottom, you've got a sticker, and then the cap slides snugly into place. I'll go ahead and waste a couple sprays for you guys. Actually, I'll just spray it on myself. That way you can see how the atomizer is. If I can get it lined up, there we go. Not too bad, kind of average. So these are not that expensive. From Teo Cabanel's website, so at full retail, you can pick up a 30 ml size bottle for 53 euros. And then you can get the full 100 ml size like this one for 105 euros. Then also when you go onto their website, they give you the option to put in your email address and you get a 10% off code, and delivery is free, I believe. So you're talking about what, 90 some euros for a 100 ml bottle with free delivery. And they also give you 4 samples. Pretty good deal for a niche fragrance, especially when we're talking about full retail. I mean, that's not discounter prices, that's just what the price is. So this fragrance right here, I fell in love with it the first time I smelled it. Really did. This stuff is awesome for me, but in the strangest way. So something about this fragrance actually reminds me of my childhood, and that really doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. And I couldn't exactly place how or why it reminded me of my childhood. Like, maybe partially it reminds me of like vintage stores, like antique stores, where you would go in and they've got all these different things in there. They've got woods, they have cloth, they have all this stuff, and it kind of mixes together in the air and gives it a very particular scent profile. That's the first thing that it made me think of, something like that. But maybe a little bit cleaner, but something along those lines. And then, you know, the more I wear it, the more I'm like, is it something else? Like the smell maybe of like a closet or something? You know, like when you're playing hide and seek when you're a kid and you hide in a closet and have like coats hanging down over you, or even the smell of, to a lesser extent, like crayons or something. And I thought I was just going crazy, but every time I would smell this, I would go, something about this is throwing me back. And then I looked online, and actually a number of people that have reviewed this on Fragrantica have said that there's something in this fragrance that also reminds them of the past, something from the past. And each time it seems to be something a little bit different, never exactly the same thing. So there's just something in here, the way that everything melds together, that for multiple people, myself included, it reminds them of something from years past. But for each person, it seems to be something a little bit different. Strange. This one doesn't change an enormous amount from the opening to the mid to the dry down. It's one of those fragrances that stays pretty consistent from the time you spray it on to the time it finally goes away off your skin. In the opening, you've got hazelnut and saffron. And really, when we talk about the notes in this one, you can't really, at least for me, say, oh, I'm getting a ton of this and a ton of that and a ton of this that really shines. It's all blended together really well. So all the notes here just kind of meld and gel together. It's not one of those fragrances, at least for me anyway, where I smell it and I go, oh, ton of hazelnut and everything else underneath it. That being said, if I was to say what notes I pick out the most of, it would be hazelnut, and then in the mid, orris. There's also tobacco in the mid, but I don't really get a tobacco leaf. I've been wearing this fragrance a lot over the past 2-3 months, whenever I want to have something on that's very relaxing and calming, because that's what this does for me. It just puts me in a really chill sort of mood. But I don't get a whole lot of tobacco. Maybe a little bit of a dry nuance from what's supposed to be tobacco, but as far as the tobacco that you might be expecting, like a sweet tobacco leaf or something like that, you're not gonna find that here. Now I know I said everything's blended together really well, and it is, but you can pick up that hazelnut right away. It's got this kind of lightly, like semi-sweet, kind of nutty, powdery feel from the orris and the hazelnut combining together. And you can kind of pick those two notes out. If you were gonna say, oh, I can get this or I can get that, it would be the orris and the hazelnut, especially in the opening and the mid. Now, as it dries down, you do pick up more white musk. It's like a clean white musk that comes out. And it's a little bit, maybe a little bit less powdery as it dries down, maybe a touch more sweetness as the tonka comes out in the base, but it's not really a huge difference from the opening. And along with that white musk and the dry down, there's also a bit of sandalwood. And that sandalwood is not really strong, so it's not gonna give you a huge woody burst, but what it does give you is this nice creaminess that melts together very well with the residual hazelnut from the opening, the orris, and that musk. A little bit more powdery initially, a little bit less powdery later on, but the way the scent comes across, pretty much the same, just the nuances are different. And because of that kind of mental throwback that I get when I smell this one, and like I said before, how relaxing it is, how calming it is, because it really is. This is a fragrance that's very just mellow the whole way through. It's never too aggressive, it's a little bit subtle, you'll catch little pops of it here and there, but this is very much a fragrance that I wear just for myself. Now, I don't think that this is some sort of compliment beast or anything like that. I don't think it's going to be the most versatile scent on earth, though it does have fair versatility to it. It's just the mood that it puts me in is great. Let's talk really quickly about performance, when you would use it, stuff like that. So in terms of longevity, it's actually pretty good, 7+ hours off my skin, but as I mentioned, a little bit more of a subtle fragrance. This one, not really a projection monster. This one is gonna be best in the first 30 minutes or so, and then on me anyway, it sits a little closer to the skin. It's still there, it lingers for a while. It just doesn't jump off my skin and really make itself known unless I'm moving in closer proximity to people. In terms of seasons, more spring and fall, sort of neutral weather. Though you could pull it off in summer. I think it's not as well suited though, because it does have that sort of powdery, nutty facet to the fragrance, which is not necessarily conducive to really high heat situations. So for me, spring and fall. As far as daytime or nighttime, for me, leans a little more daytime than nighttime, though realistically you could pull it off in either. And in terms of situations, this one's a safe, casual scent, obviously. I think it's safe to the office as well. Nothing in here is really aggressive or abrasive or potentially going to cause people, issues where they smell it and they're like, oh God, what is that? And this is also completely unisex, right in the middle. Men can wear this, women can wear this. Either way, it's gonna work. But if you don't like fragrances that have a little bit of that powder, powdery kind of scent profile, when I say it's got that powder, some people might take that a weird kind of way. For me, for the price, this one is awesome, and it smells very unique. There are very few fragrances out there that you could compare this one to as far as the scent profile goes. This is one of those fragrances I do not care at all if you like it or you like it or you like it or anybody else around me likes it, although it's pretty appealing. I just like it for myself. So there we go, guys. Ooh la la, from Teo Cabanel. This one, big thumbs up. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to their website in case you wanna go ahead and check this one out or any of the other fragrances that they have in the house. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there, and I will see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.